Hey everybody, the monkey here, you know, the one and only, the monkey that everybody can't resist. Today we're doing a video on a well pump, this one right here, the one that I'm on. The old one was removed and a new one was installed. And again, they cut the parts out where I did most of the work myself to make themselves look good. But the well pump is on, it looks real nice. Real snazzy, and just watch the video to see how it's done. It's over an existing well, and you can see how it's done if you need to replace one of these. And anyway, hope you enjoy it. And here's the joke. What is 6 inches long, 2 inches wide, and drives girls wild? A $100 bill. It sure does. Everybody knows it. It's true. So stay tuned, guys, and watch the video. Go put you up a well. If you already got a good well pump, break it off and put a new one on just to get some practice. And I'll see you next time. So goodbye, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And again, I'll see you next time on the Klaus Restoration and Crafts and Reviews channel. Goodbye. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this well pump because it's garbage. And this well pump's not been used in a while. It also has water. Sucks up the water like that. You can hook it up and actually run it in the house. There's city water here. But anyway, we're going to take this pump. Not only are the seals messed up, so I just took this off and looked at it. Let's put it back. This whole thing's shot. It's sit here for I don't know how many years not being used. 10 years I think not being used. So the only way to get these bolts off is I tried to unscrew them, which I knew with all that rust would be impossible, but I tried. So I'm breaking out the big angle grinder to chop them off. I chopped one off already. So if you use a small, if you don't got a big angle grinder like this one, you can use a small one. It's going to take longer. If you use a small angle grinder to take off these 4 little bolts, you're going to be here to your Aunt Sally comes home from the whorehouse. So use this big one, it's better. Bosch Professional Blue. Push it up. See if it won't work. See, it won't work. Have to push this up. Oh, one more thing. When you're grinding these off, these are going to get really, really hot. I mean really hot. Sometimes they'll turn red, sometimes they won't, but they'll still be really hot enough to do a damage to you when you touch them. I got a little bit of water coming out already, but I got some water over there. So my wife will get some water on them. I don't want my daughter, when they're laying on the ground, it's going to take a while to cool off. I don't want nobody stepping on them. I'm barefooted. My dog's running around, but I don't want my daughter to come out here and touch them. So, time to get going. there? It's smoking already. Look at that. It's boiling. The water was bubbling. It's boiling that water. That's what I'm talking about. That flies off and lands on top of my naked foot. I'm in a world of hurt. That will actually stick to your skin. It won't just hit your skin and fall on the ground. It'll stick to it. You'll be hurting all night long.
So water coming up.
So, yeah. I'm going to leave it half up like that, and then I'll solder the rest of it off here in a minute when it cools down a little bit so it won't be so hot. And you got to watch those sparks. These sparks are like extremely hot. You don't want this to try to not let the sparks hit you. And don't force the grinder to cut. If you break that disc, you're also going to be in a world of hurt. And never take the guard off of your angle grinder. If you see other idiots using an angle grinder without a guard, that's the stupidest, most ignorant, dumbass people in the world. You don't remove that guard. Because a man removed the guard on one of those before, the blade was damaged, or the disc was damaged, didn't know it broke, and it flew in his stomach so hard and so fast, some of it stuck in his spine. You don't remove that guard. And if somebody tells you it's okay to remove that guard, they're stupid. And if you say don't work in bare feet, that's stupid also. No, it's not, because it's just for little both ends. Listen to that sizzling pop when it hits that water. That's why you take care of business when you're working. You don't leave that stuff laying around for somebody else to get hurt on. What I just did there was grind off. Don't be moving when you're talking. What I just did there was grind off the top of this bulkhead that was still remaining that the angle grinder didn't get, and then stop it from coming out. I'm using a nail to hit it through. And 2 more to go. This thing's coming off. So that's how you grind it off. Like I said, be careful. Keep it cooled down. If you don't got water, there's water already coming out of here, but if you don't got water coming out of anything, go get some water. Take care of business if you're working. And you'll avoid, trust me, getting burned is not fun. So we'll see you later. We're taking this bottom off.
Why?
Because we have to use the old bottom. It's already cemented on. But I'm going to use this top part and this seal. This part I'll put up in a safe place and have it rest. Right now I'm going to take it apart.
How did you take it apart?
I'm using this thing here on the impact driver. This is goes to the ratchet set. But I'm not going to ratchet it, but we got an impact driver and this thing here to put on it. Locks right in. I'm putting some white lithium grease on it.
You can see.
We have to tighten it up with a little wrench because it's kind of going in sideways. That's what this. And this part here is separated already. Here's what this stuff looks like. This goes down in here. I have to see if this is the...
Check first if you fit on the other old one in there. the rubber?
Yeah,
What's it?
it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Different.
It's different.
Oh,
This one here,
it's wider. Right?
you won't see.
You see, right?
Okay, this one here is different than this one because this one here is a 306. This one here is a 301.
I think it's 3-1.
Rolled on the bottom.
Oh, really?
The gasket, we have to use the old parts to this because this one won't fit. But this gasket from the new one fits on here, so we're going to
Show it. Take this off.
so this just comes off.
So it's higher. See?
So it won't fit.
See, this one is higher. We can't bust that one. It's too much trouble. So
I know
just
it's way too much trouble. We end up having to bust it. That's when we want to hire somebody.
we just put this. It's still good though. It's still hard. It's still got rust a little on the side, but still strong. And we put the old gasket back and then rubber in. I hope this one works.
You know what to say?
What?
That doesn't work.
And with the line that I put the screws in there.
When you put these on, you want to get somebody that knows how to screw good.
You know how?
Yeah, I know how.
You know how to screw good.
Yeah, you get somebody that don't know how to screw, you're in trouble.
What's that vice grip?
Hold the nut on the bottom so it won't spin. Impact driver is really good to have. But this thing only comes with one battery when I bought it, and then the impact driver itself. And this thing was $400. They're worth it. Buy one. Putting these on, don't put it on like this. It's kind of a ball. I bought one of these pumps to put at the restaurant before. Same ceiling or something bad. It works, but you got to fight with it to get the water out. And you have to, the water comes out good in the first 5 or 6 pumps, but then after that, it gets really hard to push. But you have to wait about 10-15 seconds before you do it again. That's what happens to it. Some kind of pressure builds up in it and cranks that handle.
Hope this one have no problem.
A little bit. Try to get a bigger one of these. The bolt on this one's bigger. Don't put the front of this thing on yet, leave it off. And just throw some water back in here. And when you're done, I've already done it. I should have waited, but didn't wait on my wife to get back around. Anyway, still got good pressure and stuff on it.
Wow.
Now,
We can't believe it that the foot valve inside still work. We rent this house before. It's been, I think, 11 years, right? We come back here last year, and we just and then we
$5 million.
and we put pump in there, and it works. Wow, that's a good water pump under there.
But one thing I don't like is not being able to use this.
Keep it put in the tool sheet.
This goes to that pump.
Yes, but we don't want to
People
bust it.
here in this country, I don't know why, they cement these things into the dam. They should put this
Yeah,
pump.
right there, they cemented it there, so we don't gonna bust that one.
Now, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life, cementing that. You're supposed to put a base and put this on top of it and then screw it to the top. That way if you ever need to change it, you can take this thing back off. But that guy that got to even do that in the restaurant
Cemented.
cemented this thing. And I didn't know he was going to cement it because I didn't know that people did that here. Everybody did that. I thought this was requested. I went outside, he already had it cemented. I told him, what the hell are you doing? You cemented that thing in there. He said, that's what you got to do. It's not what you got to do. You don't cement this thing. That way you can screw it back off if you need to, off of your pipe.
Well, it works that fast, so we don't need no help. We just put that one by ourselves, so we try it works and it works, so we don't need to pay somebody. We don't need to hire somebody, pay how much, $50 to install the one, right?
Hire nobody to do work. It's easy.
We only hired people that we don't can
You
do.
only hire somebody to pump it and then no water comes out. You know why? Because there's no pipe down in the ground here.
Yeah, the main water is in this pipe.
The pipe goes over and down. The pipe comes up here, goes over into here to the pump. I'm not dealing with that. If the pipe was straight into the ground, I'll deal with it. But that main thing being over here, because you got all these hookups everywhere, I'm not dealing with that.
It works, right? Because we're so glad it works. Because sometimes here have no electricity and we got no water. Because the water here run with the electricity. So now we got no problem with water.
How do you do? What the hell?
Come on, bye. Yeah, like that.
How are you gonna get it back in?
Some new carrots. Wait, let me put this first. Uh-oh, what you did to it?
Wait, move, take that off. I see.
That one will come up lagi. That's why you got problem earlier.
It's threaded on both sides. Look at this. I didn't see that. It's threaded on both sides. I marooned that thing. I thought this had a head on it. It's threaded on both sides. Alright. Got that one on. And now I'll get this one on. If you don't got a camera, everything works perfect.
Wait lang, my finger.
Is it on?
Nope. Try to push it on my finger. Wait lang, be.
Got this part here.
That's where you put the water, right? If you prime the water, right there, right? Dude.
This here, you can actually put a hose on, pump it and come out the hose.
That's what's that for?
The only thing we did off camera was
Wait.
tighten
What's
tighten these up, and we had to do it with a wrench, those vice grips, because we can't get the impact driver in here, and we tightened up these with the impact driver. When you tighten this stuff up, go a little bit here, 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 a little bit here. Don't tighten them both up at one time. Make sure this thing is all the way screwed up. And this here, you can turn it in the direction you want. And here, you don't pump it like this, man. Look, you're not gonna get nowhere. Pump it slow and steady. If you don't pump it, if you pump this fast, it'll fight back. Pump it slow and easy. If you don't, it'll fight back. Then when you're done pumping it, it still runs for a little bit until you wash it easy. It's really cool water. The deep well.
How much that pump you buy? When you
$50 made in the Philippines. That's worse than made in China.
Kalay.
But always fine.
My cousin bought one of that, so I'm thinking to buy one because her pump is kind of soft to push up and down. So I'm thinking to buy that one too. I hope it won't break so fast.
You're not supposed to back the pump. You're just supposed to just slowly run it down and back up, slowly run down. You don't try to hammer down on it. You don't love like that water.
Cool.
It's cold. It's 500 degrees outside today and that water cold.
The water from the municipal, how you call that one? District water is salty, but that one don't.
The only part that rusted was these galvanized pipes was rust. The only part that rusted was just
The pop.
this part's made out of cast iron. The cast iron was rusted. You look at it the wrong way. You look at it the wrong way. I'm rusting.
I can't believe it works right away. I'm so shocked.
That's a bad luck change.
Your bad luck change.
That's where we're wasting water. Because this water that's coming out is sucked back up in the air, and it'll rain back down. It don't rain here, it rains somewhere else. That water is not waste when it evaporates up and it rains. If the sky or the sun can't suck water up, it never rains.
So how you feel about your new pump, water pump that you installed?
Other than not being able to use the air part on the bottom, it's fine. Because it works. So this is how to install a pump on an existing structure. But if you're not installing it on an existing structure, you have to make it out like this if you want. Why? But all you do if you're not putting on this existing structure, you take the galvanized pipe and it sticks up out of the ground, then you screw that base onto that pipe, and then you set it on top of something like this. Don't cement it down in there. Set it on top of something like this. Then when you let it go, the pipe will fall down into your well because that thing's holding it already. So screw it on. And then once you put Teflon on it, to make sure you won't have no problems if you're doing it for the first time. When you're changing one of these, if you can get the base off, it's not cemented, then you do it. But if you can't, you just hope that you're, like us, hope that what you bought still fits in there. I was kind of worried because the bolts that come out of here were bigger than these bolts, and I was thinking it won't match up, but it did. So that's it. Got water. Much as you can pump. There, come on out. Use some cold water.
The water knock, you can play here with Chinky.
You'll never be able to pump that.
Can too.
No, she can't pump this. She's not tall enough and it's got a mojo on it.
Okay, can I?
No worries, you kind of do it.